Yo, what's up, baby?
What's up?
You found your way into the dead spot.
Yep.
But life is short, but death is forever.
Literally.
Like the Sandlot.
Literally forever.
Forever. Mm-hmm. For all time. Of all time. Socials, all one word, deadspotpod. Email, deadspotpod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
TM. So, how you doing?
Good. We took another hiatus.
Yeah, in case you didn't know. Unless for some reason this is your first time listening. So.
Listen, we had 2 giant snowstorms back to back.
Yeah,
and then I don't know what happened.
When we had plenty of time to do it, but we didn't. So.
No, we didn't. We watched TV.
And something they don't usually tell you about planning a wedding is that there's a lot that goes into it. So we've also been dealing with that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So we get to it when we get to it, really. But
we're trying.
We're trying.
But
please,
we could try harder.
Please give me another chance. Please don't give up on me yet.
Yeah, don't give up. We're trying.
Don't give up. Hashtag never give up. John Cena.
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba.
All right. You want to get into it?
Sure.
Unless you have some true crime news, but I don't because I haven't been on the internet.
Not particularly. The only thing is, I think the internet's kind of turned on Gypsy Rose already. Like they're kind of sick of her shit already, seeing her so much everywhere.
She already has like 1 million followers on TikTok.
And seeing all of her bullshit, and people are saying how she's doing or what her mom did to her during interviews. Like when she would say something her mom didn't like, she would like pinch her or something. And there's like video of her doing it to her husband when he was saying something. So this cycle continues, I guess. I don't know. So, and then if you people haven't heard, what was it? At the end of January, a couple of Chiefs fans went to their friend's house to watch the game against the Chargers. And then 2 days later, after the game, 3 of the guy's friends, the guy who hosted the party, 3 of his friends were found frozen to death in his backyard.
Like I said, I just don't know how you go. I mean, how do you not know your friends aren't missing? Aren't there cars at your house?
I thought their cars were at their house, but kind of sus. So
yeah,
we
but
didn't
in that
find
article,
them for 2 days.
Yeah, but in that article, it said he was sleeping for 2 days.
Yeah.
For 2 days?
With ear-canceling headphones and a loud fan or something. But apparently they did find cocaine and fentanyl in the dude's systems. So I don't know. It's all still kind of sus. But apparently there was cocaine and fentanyl, which is not good.
I mean, I don't do drugs, but I mean, I also don't know if that would like knock you out for 2 days straight.
Fentanyl kills you.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know either, but that's just what I heard.
Listen, we don't have enough money to even be able to do drugs.
I would love to have enough money to develop a cocaine habit.
We only have enough money to buy some weed gummies.
Like Scarface style.
We can only buy weed. That's all we can afford.
Yeah, so. But just in case, depending on what state you might be listening to.
We don't do that.
We don't do that. It's all for show. Anyways, how do you feel about torture?
I mean, I don't feel good about it.
Okay, well, that's good. Because usually it's
bad
against bad people most of the time.
Is it, though? What about, like, you know what? We're not going to get into it.
I said most of the time. Well, at least a quarter of the time, we'll say. But anyways, so today I found a few medieval-type torture methods to tell you about.
All right, let's do it. Hit me.
So let's get into it, and let's see how it goes. The Brazen Bull. What do you think?
When I think of bulls, I just think of, like, animals.
That would be correct. It was allegedly created by Paralaus, an Athens-based bronze worker in 6th century BCE, whom gifted it to Phalaris.
What does BCE mean? Before Christ ever existed?
Sure. I mean, the way I always heard it was, I mean, this isn't spot on correct, but I was always of the mind that BC meant before Christ and AD meant after death. because 0 is when he died. No, that's when he was born. I don't fucking know, really.
I don't really know religion.
I think AD is actually like Anno Domini or something. I don't even know what the fuck. That's not what this is about. Anyways, Phalaris was the tyrant of modern-day Sicily.
Modern day what?
Sicily.
Okay.
I said it funnily.
That's okay.
Anyway, it was a life-sized bull statue cast entirely in bronze, but hollow. Like a big old chocolate Easter bunny, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's in the mold, but the inside is, most of them at least, are hollow on the inside. Those are the good ones. Those fucking solid ones are too much.
No good.
No mas. There was a door built into the side of it with pipes and whistles extending out, and it was made to be placed over a fire.
Oh.
So when they lit a fire, and the fire underneath was sufficient, the subject would be forced to the inside of the bull via the door on the side. The heat of the fire underneath, mixed with the rising temperature of the metal, would roast the poor subject alive.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
The pipes and whistles were affixed to convert their screams of agony into the snorts and growls of a bull, with steam escaping through the nostrils.
That's pretty fucked up.
That's pretty fucking metal, dude.
That's pretty messed up.
That's... So, you know, you're in there screaming, and then on the outside it sounds like... or some shit, I don't know. What do bulls sound like?
I don't think that's what they sound like. I think they just heavily breathe, like... like... Okay, no one wants to listen to us heavily breathe. Okay, stop.
That's why I sound like trying to lift things.
Jesus.
The supposed first victim of the Brazen Bull under Phalaris' control was the creator, Paralos. So allegedly...
Wait, he was the first victim? Was a creator?
Allegedly, the person who created this contraption was the first one to be killed.
Oh.
With it. In it. By it. Mm-hmm. Phalaris ordered Paralos to test his creation. But once he climbed inside, he was locked inside, and the fire was set.
So there's no way for them to get you out once you're in?
Well, they can, but if they lock you in there, that's the point. So you can't get out.
So they locked him in even though he didn't do anything?
They're like, yeah, just, test it out. Let's show us how it works, get in there so we can see what it looks like. And he's like, oh, yeah, all right, bet. And then he gets in there and they're like, ha-ha, sucker. And then they closed him in and cooked him.
Oh, okay, great. Mm-hmm.
So it was supposedly used in the execution of countless political opponents, criminals, and even anybody who happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So, just for fun sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
While it sounds like an incredibly vile and horrifying method of torture and execution, the existence of such a device is up in the air as there is no concrete evidence it ever existed.
I'm sure it existed.
So, again, it sounds pretty fucking metal to cook somebody alive and have their screams turned into the grunts of a bull while the steam comes out of the nostrils. But it might just be made up. So, that's the Brazen Bull.
All right, I'm ready for the next one.
Okay. The next one is called scaphism.
Oh.
Any idea?
I don't even know what that means.
Well, first of all, there's a metal, speaking of metal, a band named Scaphism.
Like after this?
I would assume so. I'm not familiar with their work, but I'm pretty sure it's like death metal or black metal because they like to go pretty gruesome on the naming and imagery, if you will. So
I'm not into that.
Shout out to Scaphism, the band, not the torture that I'm about to tell you about. So, it is also referred to as the boats, an ancient Persian method of torture and execution created around 500 BCE.
Mm-hmm.
The boats.
The boats?
Victims would be placed between two wooden boats or hollowed out logs with their heads, feet, and hands exposed. So by boats, just think of like kayak type canoe. Yeah, like a canoe, like just the bottom of a boat. And if you smash them together and put a person in the middle. Before being trapped between the boats or logs, the victim would be force-fed a shitload of milk and honey while being left exposed to the sun. At first, flies, wasps, and bees would be attracted to the mixture of milk and honey, slowly tormenting and stinging the subject.
I thought they were forced to, like, eat it, not have it, like, slathered all over their bodies.
It was both, so they did have to eat it as well. So while the mixture of honey and milk sat within the person's stomach, it would upset their tummies.
Yeah.
And eventually turn into good old-fashioned diarrhea and sometimes vomit.
That's the first thing I thought of when you said they had to eat milk and honey. I thought, that person's going to have to use the bathroom.
Well, because I'm also self-diagnosed lactose intolerant now, so absolutely. Can't do dairy milk.
Oh, I know.
I'll do like almond milk. That's good.
Almond? What about oat milk?
Almond, I don't know. It's all the same. Just not from a cow. So this would be a very not good one for me.
Yeah.
I'd rather not have to do this. So now that they're sandwiched between two boats or logs, and they're soaking in their own doo-doo and puke, right? Mm-hmm. And they're just laid out in the sun.
Yikes.
Yeah, yeah.
Seems like it would smell bad.
Yeah. At this point, the torturer would pour more milk and honey onto the soft tissues, including the genitals and anus. So get that milk in your bum.
What is wrong with these people?
The milk and the honey in your bum.
When I think of torture, I just think of, like, ripping off people's fingernails, not, like, covering them in milk and honey.
Put that milk and honey in your bum and on your bits.
On your titties?
Hey.
What?
On your sensitive bits, on your no-no zone.
Okay.
More insects would be attracted to the site and begin feeding, while also infecting the wounds. So then the wounds would begin to leak pus, and maggots would eventually be bred inside of the body, while rats would begin to eat the victim from the outside and the inside, until it was certain that the poor soul was finally dead. Thoughts?
That also sounds horrible.
I'd say so.
Like, would I rather be suffocated by a fire?
/ cooked because it's bronze and it gets hot, you know?
I don't know.
Or suffer while getting eaten from the inside out by rats while you're soaking in your own doo-doo.
I don't think I want to be eaten by the inside out by anything.
All right, so we got one vote for Brazen Bull so far. The first recorded mention of scaphism was from Greek-Roman philosopher Plutarch, who had apparently witnessed it himself. Mithridates had killed the brother of King Artaxerxes. I didn't look up these pronunciations, but it seems right to me. King Artaxerxes II, and the king sentenced him to death by this method. Mithridates apparently endured this torturous method of execution for 17 days before he died.
Like, dude, just chop my head off, okay? Take me to the guillotine. Let's just be done with it.
Guillotine, just for the record.
First of all, don't correct me.
This is an educational show. It's guillotine.
This says who?
The French who created it.
Ugh.
Which is not in this list, by the way, because that's more of an execution than torture. But, so, and like I said, I didn't look up those pronunciations, but based on my knowledge of the Disney film Hercules, which is probably my favorite.
Okay, let's not say probably. It is your favorite.
Probably, besides The Lion King.
You always talk about Hercules.
I still have my Hercules cup from
you
Hercules
always
on Ice.
Talk about it.
Saw Hercules on Ice.
You're like, Hercules is the most underrated Disney movie.
It really is, though. I can go the distance.
Yeah. I can't join in. I don't know the song.
Anyway. So, yeah, that's scaphism. Also pretty metal.
It's just, like, pretty gross.
Yeah. So I'm not sure, like, who might have been worthy, if you want to say that, of this method, but probably similar to all the other ones. And in general, just whoever they felt like it, I guess. You know, whoever was in charge. So what did you just mention a little bit ago? You'd rather have, what would you say? Like your fingers cut off or something?
Yes, I'd rather have my fingernails ripped off.
Great segue. Not exactly your fingernails, but This is...
Or, like, did you know that they... Sorry. Did you know that they, like, tape your eyelids open as a method of torture?
No.
They do.
Oh.
I think I saw it on, like, National Treasure. You know, that movie.
Another Disney film from the great Nicolas Cage.
I don't know if it was that movie, though, but they, like... No, it couldn't have been National Treasure. Either way, it's a thing.
Okay. I didn't mention it on here, but maybe the next one is kind of similar to what you're thinking. But anyways, this next one is called Ling Chi, a.k.a. Death by 1,000 Cuts.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of this one.
It's a generally common phrase, basically meaning to slowly and meticulously chip away at a task until it's complete. Like, that's what the phrase is when you say it. For instance, going back to football, I missed the Bills already, but, you know, you're just running it chunk at a time, drain that clock, death by 1,000 cuts. You know what I'm saying? Just one little thing at a time,
Yeah, until you leave too much time for the other team. You know, we don't have to bring it up.
Yeah, so it happened again. Ling Chi, created in China, dates back to the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907 AD, and was more than just a form of capital punishment. The severity of punishments was based upon the offender's social status, their crime, and the motive for committing the crime. Ling Chi was the go-to execution method for the worst crimes, including patricide, matricide, and treason.
What do either of those mean?
Patricide would be murdering your father, and matricide, your mother.
So you only got in trouble if you murdered your mother or father? What about, like, your siblings?
Not only. Like, this was the
Ultimate?
choice for that. So if you killed your own parents, then you would be sentenced to this torture / execution. And treason is, you know, along the same lines as murdering your parents, I guess.
Yeah.
So, although sometimes much lesser crimes would also receive this punishment. So, again, whoever's in charge decided just to send a message, you know, like, hey, don't. Right?
Yeah, I'm sure that was exactly what they said.
So, when they did this, this method of execution was a public event with the hopes that it would deter others from committing crimes similar to the person being sentenced to death, as well as to ensure maximum suffering and humiliation in a prolonged and painfully excruciating manner. You like how I said excruciating?
Yeah, I liked it.
Thanks. I was inspired by John Travolta on that one. Like, did you ever see that video where he mispronounced, what's her name? Idina Menzel?
Probably not.
The lady who sings the Frozen song?
No.
I forgot what he calls her, but he's like, the wickedly talented Adele Kazim. Or whatever. And he really terribly fucks her name up. But, what was that word? Excruciating. Okay. The subject would be tied to a wooden frame or post, generally in the center of a town square, so the public could gather around and grab a spot to watch the show. Then, the process of cutting the body began. One or multiple executioners would start to cut into the flesh of the arms, legs, and chest. Again, the point of this is to drag it out for as long as possible.
It's a big yikes.
Oh yeah, big time. The cuts were strategic in the way that they caused intense pain but did not immediately kill the subject. So, you know, they would also try to stay away from, like, main arteries and stuff, I would figure. Yeah. So they wouldn't bleed to death, like, immediately at least. In some instances, limbs would be amputated before administering cuts to the torso, and many times would conclude with decapitation.
God damn.
While the death would end their physical life, the humiliation would continue on after death due to traditional Chinese beliefs. Because mutilating the body, even via tattoos or piercings, or, you know, getting your arms and legs and head cut off, was believed to be unable to find peace in the afterlife.
But, like, how do you cut off someone's limbs and they don't die of massive blood loss?
Well,
like, that doesn't make any sense.
Just a guess, because if you're a regular listener, I don't properly research enough. But my first guess would be they could probably put like a tourniquet, like say like on your thigh, and just cut your leg off from your knee down. You know what I mean? So it's not bleeding out.
I guess, but you're still going to be bleeding heavily.
Well, you're also still suffering. That's the main point, really. So again, if their body is mutilated either way, like their soul won't find peace in the afterlife. So basically, this torture / execution is literally timeless. You know, it just goes on forever. Like, you're fucked for literally ever.
Yeah.
Until the sun explodes.
Well, I mean, if you're a bad person.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
But if you're not, then sorry this happened.
You know who probably should have died from a death of 1,000 cuts or whatever? The lady in the book that I read.
Oh, yeah. That was going to be my guess. What a bitch, right?
You don't understand.
Fuck her.
You don't understand.
I don't.
I tried to explain to you, but you didn't care.
Anyways. So that was death by 1,000 cuts. So the next one is called white torture. White torture.
Like torture for only white people?
And I'm not talking about Sweet Caroline.
I don't know what that means.
The song?
Yeah.
Because I hate it. It's annoying.
Okay.
Never mind. White torture is also known as white room torture, is meant to be more psychological than physical, and is predominantly used in Iran, with evidence of Venezuelan and United States intelligence services also rolling with it.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know what it is yet, but it seems like...
I was going to say, do you want to take a guess as to what it is?
They put you in a room that's all white and make you stare at it forever.
Yep, that's it. So the next one is...
That's
I mean, basically, but I'll tell you more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you win. So the person sentenced to white torture is, to put it simply, deprived of any and all color within solitary confinement. The walls and floor of their cell, the ceiling, their clothes, and even their food is all white.
Because that would be so annoying.
Yeah.
Like, more than anything.
Oh, yeah. So... what's the first food you think of that's all white?
Mashed potatoes.
I mean, good. I would say it's a little more of a creamy off-white color, but the go-to food choice for the whiteness is generally just plain old boring-ass white rice.
Well, I mean, I like white rice, though.
I don't, but you can put stuff on it. They can't. You can mix it with shit. They can't. But the deprivation of taste and color of the food ultimately causes the desensitization of taste and smell, as well as the sense of touch, as all of the surfaces are completely smooth. Ooh. So, no textures, no corners. It's all rounded and smooth. Their cell is then outfitted with soundproofing to ensure there are literally no sounds within the cell.
So it's just silent all the time?
All white, all smooth, all silent.
I mean, do they get a book?
No, because it's not all white. They get nothing. Except white rice and milk.
Well, I guess it's time to go to sleep.
White neon lights located in the ceiling cast light straight down, which prevents any shadows to form anywhere within the cell. So literally, again, all white.
I mean, listen, if we're going torture methods, I'm taking this one right now. Because I don't want to be cut to death. Or...
No. No, dude. This is ridiculous.
You'd rather be eaten from the inside out by rats versus sitting in a white room?
It's more exciting than sitting in a smooth white room and eating rice and milk all the time.
Well...
And as I mentioned earlier, I'm lactose intolerant because that room is not going to be white for long.
I'm sure there's a bathroom in there. Or a toilet.
I mean, I didn't see anything about a toilet part because that is a good question. I didn't look into that because that didn't occur to me when I was looking into it.
Those are my first number one questions. Is there going to be a bathroom?
First question is, can I bring a book? Second question, where's the bathroom?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but, all right, so yeah, also no shadows anywhere. And outside of the cell, the guard or guards assigned to monitor the cell even wear padded shoes to keep from making any noise at all, even when walking around. Mm-hmm. Prisoners are often subjected to white torture for months or even years at a time. Some documented effects include losing their personal identity, as well as hallucinations and psychosis. So, do you still want to do the White Room torture?
I mean, so far it sounds like my best option.
Well, I guess.
I don't want to be cut to death. At first, I was like, I could do death by 1,000 cuts, but then I was like, I don't want my whole leg amputated.
I don't think people
dang.
want to be cut, but you know.
If I had to choose from these 4, I'm taking I'm gonna have a hallucination.
Okay, yeah. But then if you hallucinate, are they going to be in color, or is that also white?
Who knows? Probably
Only
white.
one way to find out.
Paint the side
Get in
white.
there! Anyways, that's White Room torture. So, the next one we got here is the Flute of Shame.
Like the instrument?
Yeah, like I'm going to make the wrong noise, right? Like,
yeah, nope, that's not it. Yeah. No.
Fucking whatever. You know what a flute is. Flautist. The Flute of Shame was a medieval torture device that was used to publicly humiliate musicians who were so bad at playing music they would also be considered to be disturbers of the peace. So, like,
what if you just didn't have any musical talent?
Well, then get your ass in your fucking house and practice because you're trash.
Okay, what if you practice and practice and practice and you still suck?
Well, then you're gonna wear the Flute of Shame.
What if you didn't choose that life? You didn't choose to be a musician.
Well, you could choose to be better at it.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, a heavy iron flute, not a playable flute, was affixed with a large shackle near the mouthpiece end that would be placed around the neck. The musician's fingers would then be clamped to the keys to make it look as though they were actually playing the instrument they were apparently so terrible at. Whilst wearing the Flute of Shame, they would then be walked around the town so the people who were the so-called victims of the less-than-good tunes could throw rotten food and vegetables at them. So, good old shaming.
Yeah.
Like, you're trash! I hate it! You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty much it for that.
Well, I mean, maybe I would take that one then.
Yeah, I mean, this one, you don't really end up dying. So,
yeah.
This one is actually just torture and shaming.
I mean, they did that to the lady in Game of Thrones.
Kind of, without the flute.
They said, shame,
and clothes.
Shame,
Yeah.
shame, 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 shame.
Let's see how long you were going to do that.
And then they threw stuff at her. But I think they threw, like, rocks. So
Yeah.
I mean.
I think that was more of a common, actually, like, humiliation type thing around those times, you know? So, Flute of Shame. Who do you think would be fitting of the Flute of Shame these days? Classic answer might be Nickelback, but those people, I say, get over it. They're not as bad
like,
as you think.
who's really bad? Kid Rock.
Oh, that's good. That's a good answer.
Like, he just needs to stop. Unless he's going to sing that Summertime song. It's the only one.
Summertime? The
Yeah.
one with fucking Sweet Home Alabama?
Yeah, where it's like...
Ugh, all summer long? No, that is...
From a boy to man, or whatever.
No, that song alone is worth the Flute of Shame.
It's catchy, though.
It's because it's two other good songs mashed together, and then he ruins it with his stupid voice.
We would drive
No. Well, my answer, I got two.
Who are you gonna say, MGK?
I mean, since you said it, yeah.
No.
But you know who else I can't fucking stand?
Morgan Wallen.
Sure. Last night. Weezer?
Weezer?
The whole band has to wear flutes of shame.
I'm indifferent. I don't care either
I
way.
can't stand Weezer, dude. Every time they come out with a new song, it's just like, I'm quirky, I'm in my 40s, but I'm still like a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Yeah, who else?
Imagine Dragons.
Really?
Yeah.
Imagine Dragons?
Yeah. Like, first of all, why are you
That's
taking your
not
shirt
right.
off? Why is his shirt always off?
Because
your band doesn't make music
he's
like
attractive.
that. You don't have to take your
Adam
shirt off.
Levine also takes his shirt off every concert, and his music does not. You know what, Maroon 5. We can put Maroon 5 in the.
He also slides in your DMs and says, "Holy fuck, you're so fucking hot," or whatever he said. That body's rocking or something.
Yeah, we can put Maroon 5 in the Flute of Shame. Because they're annoying.
Weezer and Imagine Dragons are my first two that I thought of, but I have plenty.
I bet.
Because, you know.
I feel like I can't think of really anyone off the top of my head.
No, like I said, I feel like the easy answer is Nickelback, but some people say that just to say that. They're not as bad as you think.
So Garrett's a Nickelback stan. And Creed.
Hey, fucking listen, Creed has become a meme lately, and I'm
You're upset?
triggered. Creed is so goddamn good. Just listen to him. Forget about the Christian band stuff that you're fed. Like, it's just good music, man.
Ooh, what about, do you know who should wear the Flute of Shame? Marilyn Manson. For multiple reasons.
We're only talking about music, though.
Yeah, I am talking about music.
Maybe I'm a little biased because I liked his music when I was like 13.
Oh, when you were 13.
And some of the songs still go pretty hard, bro. So I'm gonna fight back on that.
When I was 13, I loved Marilyn Manson.
When I was 14, I was at freaking Ozfest, okay? It was freaking ridiculous.
And when I was 33, I found out he was weird.
It was like Ozfest, like 2004 or 5, like friggin'.
Why are we talking about
friggin' Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden were friggin' headlining, and that's friggin' ridiculous. Okay, and then Ozzy was on the second stage, and it was friggin' waning the whole time. And for some reason, they literally had water cannons still shooting water, even though it was literally waning the entire time. And
Listen,
I was like,
nothing.
"Why are you doing this? It's already waning. Stop shooting water."
Nothing will compare to when we went and saw Rise Against in the pouring rain. My rain boots had rain in them. Okay.
Well, speaking of rain, that was also the same Edge Fest where I held Rain Maida from Our Lady Peace up on the barricade.
Yeah, and I couldn't get a picture because I was smushed.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't even get my arms up.
And then I thought I was going to drop him, and I thought I was going to get killed. But he stayed up the whole time. And then I got to meet him again a few years later. And I was like, hey, remember that guy who held you up while you stood on the barricade at Edge Fest? He's like, that wasn't you, was it? And I was like, it was. And he's like, oh, no way.
I just remember he looked at me and he was like, can you hold me up? And I was like, no.
No, he turned and looked at me. He's like, you're a big guy. You can hold me up.
First he looked at me and he was like, pointed to me. And I said, no. I literally said no.
I told him that. And I was like, yeah, you turn around. You're like, oh, you're a big guy. You can hold me up. And he's like, oh, I didn't mean anything bad by it. I'm like, no, it was fine. I was fucking fat.
Oh, my God.
Boy, we had a laugh.
After that tangent.
So, I like going to concerts and stuff, you know. So, I got a lot of stories. So, I got one more here for you. It's called Goat's Tongue.
Goat's Tongue?
Like the goat, but not Josh Allen goat. Like an actual goat.
Okay.
Goat, that kind of goat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know? Now, many people have pets. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, dogs, cats, even iguanas and shit. That's exotic.
Yeah.
Generally, when your dog comes up and licks your face, it's cute. It's meant to be a kiss and a sign of affection, you know? Mm-hmm. But in the ancient Roman Empire, they thought up the idea to use goats to torture some poor souls. How is a goat going to torture anybody? You might think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let you know. First, the victim would be restrained while lying on a table, wherein his feet would be soaked with salt water for about 12 hours, or as long as it took for the skin on their feet to get all wrinkly and weakened. So you know you're in a pool too long, or whatever you're doing, you get all fucking wrinkly,
pruny.
Little pruny. That's the word.
Yeah.
Same idea, but, you know, salt water. So at this point, a hungry little goat would join the party. So he comes trotting in. You know?
Yep.
So he's looking around for something, anything, to quell its hunger. The goat would eventually stumble upon the salty little souls of the prisoner. You might think, oh man, that does sound like torture. Having an animal licking your feet, especially if you're ticklish, that's got to be brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But just in case you didn't know, the texture of a goat's tongue is rough and coarse, similar to sandpaper, or perhaps closely to the tongue of a cat. You know, cats are like they're a little rough.
Is that what they're doing?
Like, that's the sound because it's rough, depending what it's licking.
Yeah. It just kind of sounds like they're about to hack up a fur ball.
So, the goat would begin licking the bottom of the feet. Due to the soft, weakened skin plus the coarse tongue of the goat, layers of skin would slowly be licked right off. One at a time. I had a feeling
this is where this was going.
Until thousands of nerve endings would be exposed. The timeline would extend as long as it took for the prisoner to confess to whatever they were accused of.
But, like, what if they didn't do it?
Well, that would be a forced confession, I guess. If they refused, the licking would continue. More and more brutally painful each time.
I think I'm still going to take either the white room or the flute of shame.
Okay. After a certain point, the feet would become infected, and flies would lay their little maggot larvae in the wounds, which would eventually spread throughout the rest of the body until the subject experienced a very slow and painful death.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
That's it.
Yeah, no thanks.
That's it for the goat torture.
Not for me.
The goat torture. Not the greatest of all time torture, but, you know, goat. Actual goat.
It's not for me.
It's not. But that's all I got for that. So, what do you think?
I think I'm still going to go with either the white room or the flute of shame.
Sure. I mean, I feel like the closest I would have to goat torture is when I got my only tattoo. Because mine was 3.5 straight hours. And towards the end, it just felt like he was scraping my muscles with a fork.
Well,
so I imagine probably not close to this, but that would probably be the closest I've gotten to it.
I don't think that's anywhere close.
It was like so bad. I was like, ah.
Maybe you just needed a Tylenol.
I was like, oh, please, oh.
Yeah.
And he's like, shut up, bitch.
Probably.
He's like, shut up, bitch. That was just a stencil. He's like, sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Scar me.
Checks out.
But that's all I got for...
What would you pick?
Huh? I mean, I wouldn't want to do the flute because I don't like people staring at me.
That's why, because you don't like people staring at you?
Or shaming me.
Yeah, that's the point.
That's why I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, nobody would like it. No one's like, oh my god, I can't wait to go to the flute of shame tonight. Yay. Are you going to be there, front row? Yeah? Okay.
Okay.
What are you bringing? Grapes to throw at me? Apples? Which is it?
Can't bring grapes. You got to bring, like, fucking old pumpkins.
Pumpkins? You can fucking knock someone out.
Not if they're rotten.
Yeah, huh?
They're soft.
No.
Okay. Well, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge. I don't want to do the white room. That sounds terrible. You know how much I always need some kind of noise.
I know. You always need noise. I sit in silence in the morning. You're like, why are you sitting in silence?
I always need noise.
We need music. We need background noise.
So, like, if I ever come to your party and you're not playing any background noise or music, just know I'm dying inside. Especially if nobody's talking. Like, holy shit.
So you're like, I can just sit in silence, so...
I tried to put on, like, sleep sounds before, but you don't like that.
No, because it sounded like it was static TV, the one that you put on.
So now it's just King of Queens.
That's fine. I'd rather listen to that.
Nice. That one's a victory right there.
Or Criminal Minds.
No, because then... so I had a scary dream last night. Yeah, I wonder
That's
why.
Not me.
This guy was chasing me. There was a murder.
Whatever.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Okay.
But that's what I got for some torture / executions today.
All right, let us know your thoughts. Which one would you choose?
Yeah, let us know.
I want to know.
You can let us know on the socials at deadspotpod or with an email, deadspotpod@gmail.com.
Oh, we also have YouTube?
Yeah, we're on YouTube. You might be listening to it on YouTube right now.
On YouTube.
And not video, because, I'm not ready for that.
Garret doesn't want to be on video.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm talking like that. Anyway,
Dracula joined the chat just then.
Anyway, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We'll try not to be on hiatus again, but honestly, we'll make no promises.
Yeah, who knows? So, in the meantime...
Give us a follow. Tell us. Tell us. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
I want to know.
Yeah, tell us. Tell us now. Right now. You're listening to the ending music right now.
So you better make a comment.
So that's plenty of time to open up an app, type up an email, whichever. Hit me up, baby.
Comment on our Instagram.
It's right there. If you're on Spotify,
it's right there.
It's right fucking there, dude. There's a question right there. Just answer it, okay? Simple.
Okay.
All right, well, we'll see you around.
See you later.
Be well.
Alligator.
Okay.
Bye.
Love you, bye.